homes. In one farcical incident, the Home Office issued 275 care visas to single care homes that did not exist. Joining me now down the line is the leader of the SDP, Mr. William Clouston. William, very good evening to you. Welcome back to the Independent Republic of Mike Graham. This comes as no great surprise to me, I'm afraid. It looks as though the biggest problem we've got in immigration in this country is not the people coming on small boats, but the people coming legally to supposedly study here and supposedly work here. They've only just been told now they can't bring their dependents, but they've been bringing dependents for years and years and years, 1.2 million last year. And it turns out many of them are going to work in places that aren't there.
Yeah. No, it's a complete shambles, Mike. Both of these failures are probably as bad as each other, actually. I mean, you've got to maintain border control and word gets round. So the channel migrant thing is a really big problem. But at least in theory, the government has control over legal migration. And yet this is a catastrophic failure as well. The root cause of this, Mike, is a failure to do any labour market planning at all. So you have a social care sector which is desperate for workers, and the government panics post-COVID and just opens the floodgates, basically, and you've had over 100,000 people coming in, and you've had more than that in terms of their dependents and relatives. The whole system is a shambles, and this is, after all, Mike, to work for basically the minimum wage. And as this latest report's shown, a lot of people have just gone missing or gone and working in other sectors. So, you know, this is on the government.
Yeah, it is. But the problem here, it seems to me, William, is that people are coming into Britain for any number of reasons, but generally speaking, not to do what they say they're going to do. And my question to you would be, we know the Home Office and their interviewing techniques for illegal migrants is pretty useless, but this one must also be pretty useless because you need to have a licence to run a care home. In various licences that have been applied for in this situation, they've put down how many employees they have. And in one case, 4 was the number, and yet they got something like 1,500 visas for people to go and work there. I mean, who's checking the actual figures here?
Yeah, that's a shambles. But as I say, the root cause of it is the fact that we've put ourselves in a position where we need to import vast quantities of labour to do the jobs we need. And it's because the government can't be bothered to plan anything, can't be bothered to train young people and match demand for labour to supply. It's as simple as that. They've never done it, Mike. They've never bothered to do it. The present guy that's Chancellor of the Exchequer used to be Health Secretary. And all the time he was Secretary of State for Health, he never produced enough clinicians or doctors or nurses for the NHS's needs. And it's the same on social care. It's an utter shambles. And Mike, you know what? The real reason why these people are going missing? It's because we are a free country. This is a free country. We have high embedded rights. We don't have ID checks, and people are free to go where they like. But the problem with that is, if you have people abusing it and coming in, they just go AWOL, and then we're done. And the Home Office has no idea where people are.
No, they don't have, and not only do they not have any idea, but they don't have any idea in most cases who they are, or where they've been, or what they've done, or what they're about to do, as we also know.
Yeah. But as I say, the reason I mention labour market planning and the labour market itself is that we've become addicted. This is an addiction. It all started with the single market in Europe, where we couldn't be bothered to train our kids, and we just imported often very, very high-skilled Poles and Czechs and Slovaks to do work. And we got used to this open labour market. I'd argue from a position on the left that it was bad for the workers because basically it disincentivized training and it put wages down. It was crazy. I mean, it was never in our interest to do this. We got addicted to it. And like any addict, you get addicted to something and you need bigger doses. And that's what's happened. If you look at the graph of labour imported to this country, particularly low-skilled labour, which puts very high demands on our social welfare system, we've just needed bigger and bigger hits to do the job.
I know, it's a shocking state of affairs. I don't know how we're going to fix it, but listen, William, thanks very much.